we've known each other for a couple of years, but I I don't know much, and people listening may not know much about like your origin story. So if you don't mind kind of walking me through how did you get started with dance and what kind of led you to kind of where we are now?
So I was born in Mesquite, and then with my parents at least, they migrated from the Philippines to come to America and Texas to work in the medical field. Um, and I think that's where my parents met, in the hospital, because they were on a work program through the Philippines and Texas. And then I was here until like I was around 2 years old, and then I moved back to the Philippines. And then I think that's when the dance part started, because I think in the school that I went to, I was there from like 2 to uh 11, 12-ish. So I was there for roughly 10 years in the Philippines. So I think in um that time, like our school systems did a lot. I don't know if it's just Filipinos and their curriculum and dance, but they added like so many dance programs, like the whole class would have to do dance performances. Like I remember
Wow.
the first dance performance I did was like a Lilo and Stitch Hawaiian roller coaster ride, like, and we dressed up, we had leis, and like I think that was like first grade. And then uh I don't know, like I feel like it was just such a natural part of dance, because the way I see dance now and the way I see dance before, like it was just like it was just, oh, like this is coming up this month, because Christmas is coming around and parents want to see like kids performances or whatever. Uh but yeah, I would say like the start of like something new was, I think, America's Best Dance Crew. I think
Mm-hmm.
watching that, and then seeing like kind of the Jabberwockies, like Quest Crew, seeing that type of dance style, like I was just blown away, because like I think before that the only like dance thing that I had was like not the movie You Got Served.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the one where I fell in love with like the sense of hip hop, the sense of breaking. And it was just something that like was super, super like just fresh in my mind at the time. But yeah, I think when I came to America, um, like 20, I want to say 11, or no, not even. I think it was like 2009 that we came to the States. And I think I think I just, as an Asian, like, because at the time, like, I wasn't even Asian American, like, I was just Asian.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I just had this heavy accent, and then like I needed some sort of like role to like clutch to. So the only thing I knew about like Asian American at the time was like America's Best Dance Crew. So
Mm-hmm.
like I started doing hairstyles, like, bro, I had the bangs and a faux hawk. Like
This
it
man had
was crazy.
everything. This man had the
Like,
spikes.
yeah. And it was just like I just needed an identity to clutch to, I think, at that time. And I think I found that like within Quest Crew and a lot of those guys, because I thought they were funny.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just like I saw them having fun with that. Like, and honestly, like dancing, like I was like, oh, like this is my role to like
Mm-hmm.
um just play. And like, because I remember I did the Dougie one time in class, and
Mm-hmm.
like that was the first time I had like assurance from my peers, like, oh, the Asian guy can dance. And I think, I don't know like how pivotal like that like one moment became, because like I feel like I started chasing that feeling of like
Mm-hmm.
acceptance, because like I was just like, bro, oh my gosh, like tra like honestly, like being like an immigrant is so weird, because it's like it's just like It's not like it's a disconnect, but it's like the influx of like how you were raised and what you saw. Because like a lot of the demographic in the Philippines was like, other than the Filipinos, we had a lot of like Indian people, we had a lot of Spanish people, we had some African. Um, but yeah, coming to America, that was like the most diverse, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a part of. So yeah, I just like wanted to to just like yeah, just have a sense of identity, and I found that with dance, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it led me to like a lot of my friends now. Like I think even this conversation, like with the process, like I feel like that cemented like a lot of like those connections. Because yeah, like I feel like I'm doing different stuff. Like even before I think the studio came to play, like it was like it was just like little stuff along the way. Cause like I wouldn't say I was deep into dance. Like I would compete sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
show up to events, but I think before that, like it was just like I didn't know what I would do in dance yet. And I think I was just working my job. I was working at Amazon. I was working at the what is it? Dos Equis Pavilion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was just working my jobs, and I was just like honestly like I didn't think we were gonna do the studio like that. But yeah. Um
Before we get to the studio,
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'll
that,
be like
no, you're fine, you're fine. I do want to touch on a couple things you said there, which which is super interesting, right? I'm also an immigrant. My parents came here with me when I was 5 in 2003, so I'm from
oh wow.
India. So,
Hmm.
but looking back on it, as much, and we moved to you know heavily Caucasian area, small town in North Texas.
Yeah.
So there weren't a lot of Indians there, and if they were, they
Hmm.
weren't any kids of my age that I could really connect
Hmm.
with, right? So, um, I was the thing you said about having like the heavy accent and everything. I was maybe a bit lucky that we came here when I was like 5,
Hmm.
so I had essentially time
Hmm.
to acclimate and develop whatever accent I now have, and
Yeah.
kind of not retain the harder
Hmm.
Indian accent that some people could have, and some people in the community still do, which is completely fine. It's
Hmm.
nothing against it, but there were just other things that people could also comment on. I just didn't give them the accent for it, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
But to your point, I do remember there were quite a few times when like you feel like you have to try and impress
Hmm.
maybe your peers around you, right? Because you're not like them, or you're trying to find some sort of connection with a connecting point with them. To your point about America's Best Dance Crew, I tried to find those connecting points with my peers too. Like, what do they do that I also do that we can talk about and do?
Hmm.
Unfortunately for me, dance wasn't one of them. Nobody in my small Caucasian town like really danced like that.
Yeah.
Only me.
Hmm.
So I grew up watching like the Step Ups, a lot of
Oh
Bollywood,
yeah.
obviously. So there's a ton of
Yeah.
dancing there.
Hmm.
I got introduced into ABDC season 5. So
Oh, okay.
for me, Poriotics was like the crew.
They were
Uh,
the
they
yeah.
were so good to me, and back then, like I was as many kids are. I was just infatuated with like isolation and
Mhm.
um like robotics and things like that, right? I didn't understand I didn't even know what popping was. I didn't know what hip hop was. I didn't know what grooving. I didn't know any of these things. I just knew what
Yeah.
dance was. And so I remember also like feeling like there's a pull here,
Hmm.
but I didn't have the opportunity to make it, a part of me. It was
Hmm.
just, but gradually I started dancing more just in front of people at home, like at the parties that our community, like church parties we'd go to, etc.
Hmm.
And so people starting to know me as like the guy who actually can dance, versus like
Yeah.
the people who just do like don't know how to
Yeah.
necessarily. So that was fun. I'm glad somebody else was in the same boat as me, and I feel like a lot of us there are probably a lot more people who
Mhm,
have a background like that of getting into it, trying to like figure out who I am,
mhm,
or who can I be, or how can
mhm,
I connect with these people.
mhm.
And um, I love that. I love that. I want to stay on that dance beat a little bit though.
Yeah.
Um, because you said, certain movies and media you watch got you more into dance, and then through through growing up, you got into it a little bit more.
Mhm.
Um, Now, as you're dancing, right? You've done choreography, you've done freestyle for quite a few years, you've battled as well, and you're great in all of those. So, you know, I've fallen into a rut where I don't really dance like that anymore. Once again, just not people here to dance with, so I just don't dance
Mhm.
like that anymore. So I only dance when I hear certain songs that make me want to dance, or certain types of music. And so
Yeah.
what I wanted to ask is, from for through all of your years of dancing,
Mhm.
now has are there certain like musical styles or genres that more often than not can 100% get you on the dance floor, versus some of them you're like, I'm kind of over this for this season. I'm kind of not sick of it, but like,
Yeah.
I'm a bit tired of this.
The studio's been open for around 3 months now, and I feel like every day I've been trying to make a new piece.
Mhm.
Um, either like some of them are very beginner level because 'cause they're for kids, and so I kind of structure, my dancing around, like, beginner style lessons, specifically in hip hop.
Okay.
Uh, 'Cause, I think, in terms of the music, like, I really just, I try to keep it roughly around, like, the genres of, like, A Tribe Called Quest, Eric B. and Rakim, like, really, like,
Mhm.
um, kind of like what I would say is, um, just the beginning of hip hop, just so,
Mhm.
like, the kids can get a sense of the sound that existed when
Mhm.
some of these movements were being created.
Mhm.
Because like, I give a lot of the kudos to, like, to Alan, to Canvas, to Kevin Middleton, um, man, like, I can go on a list of people, but, like, for specifically those 2 guys, like, helped me define the style of dance.
Mhm.
And also, like, the kind of like the respect of foundational knowledge and, like, just paying homage to certain styles.
Mhm.
Um, and even, like, the mentalities, like, I think we can probably relate on this tip, but, like, those 2 individuals, like, they're kind of, like, on another like mental like even like I know like not all of them is dancing. Like it's crazy. Like they showed these things through dance, but now they're like in their own
Mhm.
bags.
Yeah.
Like but yeah, I'll like I just wanna like pay homage to them because like I don't think those two realize like the impact.
Mhm.
But yeah, as I approach like dancing now, like I try to experiment with different music. I would say specifically hip hop. Um, uh, I would like underground trap. I think just because like I feel like that's like what I would listen on my own time.
Mhm.
But I'm starting to figure out like not all underground trap songs could be like a piece because
Right.
of the
Fair.
content. But, yeah, I feel like, I'm generally open to different styles, but because, like, my curriculum right now is, hip hop, I
Mhm.
think I've been trying to, like, research more on that, as per the past year, because I loved hip hop, but then, when it comes to hip hop dance, I think that's when I just had to do my due diligence and just, like I had my training before, but, like,
Mhm.
um, uh setting like laying it out to where it's like specific vocabularies or specific histories or
Mhm.
transitions. Like I would try to study the teachings of Buddhist stretch
Mhm.
and just try to see like because like this is not a role to be like I don't know, being a dance teacher, especially for kids, like I definitely want to just like do what my four or what is it? My teachers before
Mhm.
taught me. And then also just continue like laying a good groundwork for
Mhm.
like the love of dance. Like we'd go over movement, we'd go over film um of like ABDC. Like I
Yeah.
would try to show them what I personally watched growing up.
Mhm.
And then just try to build like a solid foundation. But yeah. Um
Okay. No, I like that. I like that.
yeah.
What you said, I I like that you're taking the role seriously in the realm that you're trying to teach history of the movement along with just it's not just like a class where you're going for like 50 minutes to get a workout and then leaving, right? Like that's not what you're trying to do here. You're trying to really impart like a level of knowledge and in some forms like a responsibility of, this is where it came from, this is these are this. I also really love that you said you were trying to make pieces on the sounds
Mhm.
from where the movements originated, because a lot of movements don't go with what music is now, so you can't, it's
Mhm.
it's, it's hard
Yeah.
to, you don't want to force a movement into a more modern sound if it's a more classic movement, if it's a more like OG movement or style. So I
Mhm.
really appreciate that, like the how serious you're taking this. I can
Mhm.
imagine that it can get, I guess, overwhelming
Mhm.
sometimes to think like I got to get this right. I don't want to mess up. I don't want
Mhm.
to like say something wrong, or I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to make a mistake here. I don't want to overstep.
Mhm.
But uh, I think just as long as you're coming from the right space,
Mhm.
um, it's gonna be like super well received, and hopefully, people do see like the value in that, right? They're not coming to just have a workout and leave, right? They're
Yeah.
coming to really learn and be a part of a bigger thing.
Mhm.
And then, I agree with you. Middleton and Canvas really, they really did change the way I looked at movement. Canvas
Mhm.
was my first freestyle teacher, and then Middleton really pulled me back into dancing when I was out of it, with the process.
Mhm.
So I agree. Like the friends that I made on process were pretty tight. I
Mhm.
still, and I could probably message any of them today, just be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
we could.
Yeah.
Um, but going off of that, if and some of the things I want to ask you, I workshop these with Canvas just because I was like, I really want to, I want to know more about you, but sometimes my brain can really laser focus on one type of question or
Yeah.
one type of inquiry. So
Mhm.
this one's from Canvas, but uh, if you can share a cipher with anyone, who would it be and why?
Oh, um, like just anyone around the world, like, and
Yeah, anyone. It doesn't have to be Dallas community. It can just be anybody.
yeah, man, it's crazy. It's what I would say like one of the first Momentum Mondays was pretty damn close
Mm-hmm.
to to that because like I'll have a real answer, but I just want to kind of like talk about this because like I came in like 2014. Like Canvas was also one of my first teachers, and the person that really brought me into the community. But to have him DJing and like people like Valkyrie, Shadows, Narcy, like kind of like those people that were holding it down in Dallas, and they were all in like that was the first studio cypher, and like I think up to that moment, like because we were working on the studio for a year,
Mm-hmm.
and to have him DJing that, like, that shit was like super full circle, bro.
Mhm.
I was like, no, like in my head, like I would just go to the bathroom and I would just freak out because like I'm just
Mhm.
like, ain't no way this is real right now. Like,
Yeah.
because it was just like a lot of those people, like they were the ones like I've watched growing up.
Mhm.
And yeah, like it was just crazy to see
Yeah.
them like all in the same circle. Like and it was like a limited number. Like Frankie was there too. Like he don't even pop like that.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm gonna show up to show my support. And it was just one of those things that I was just like, I don't know, like I couldn't I like it took me a while to process that.
Mhm.
And like I feel like it was just like a really dope experience to kind of like have them open up and bless the floor before
Mhm.
like the schedule keeps going.
Yeah.
Because I think just yeah, the freestyle community showed me so much, and I didn't want the studio to just be choreography like any
Mhm.
other studio. Like I feel like what was different was um like a real love for freestyle and the people that's been like holding it up
Mhm.
for Dallas, and just like Texas in general. Cause like, yeah. But for a cipher, this is so crazy. That's a crazy question. Yeah,
It makes you think.
yeah, because it's like, um, okay, hold on. I'm oh man, that's crazy. That got me. So I would put Hawk from Quest Crew. I think he was one of those people. Like I watched and really tried to relate my tutting to um man, this that's crazy. And a cipher, uh, I would book Hawk, Philip Shabib, um,
Goated.
yeah. I put Mike Song,
Mhm.
uh, um, just people like I would love to watch in person.
Mhm.
Um, I'd throw in Boogie Frantic in there. Um, Uh, this is kind of weird, but like I just like loved his style. Kenzo Alvarez.
Mhm.
He was his style was just kind of crazy. I'll put Yaya Vankova. Um, she's just like an amazing like crump and animation person. I feel like these are all ABDC people.
I mean, no, it makes sense, right?
Yeah,
And but it
yeah,
looks like these are all people
yeah,
that you have looked up to
yeah,
in some way and form that you
yeah,
want to share a floor with.
yeah,
Um, and that's all you can ever ask for, right? You
yeah.
know, do I want to learn something here? Yes. Do I want their autograph? Maybe yes. Do I want to talk with them? Yes. But at the end of the day, I just want to share this floor with this
Hmm.
person because that's probably the best conversation that we could ever have is just if we share the
Hmm.
floor together versus actually sitting down and talking.
Yeah,
And no, those were great.
yeah.
Those were great cipher people.
Right.
Um, so then okay,
Mhm.
now tell me about the studio because
Right.
I didn't even like you said we may have not chatted in a bit, so I didn't know this was a thing until I saw like it launching.
Mhm.
So talk to me about like idea like the inception of it, going through getting it set up, finding the space, etc. How did all that go?
Um, so yeah, like I feel like the studio started around the idea came in January 2024. Originally. I think so Catherine's mom approached us with the idea. So it's really like she came to me and Catherine and she's watched us in the community,
Mm-hmm.
tried these different teams and like just keep like dancing in whatever capacity we can in between work. Um, and she asked us if we wanted to help her open a business in studio. And I think at the time, because Taj didn't create HQ yet,
Mhm.
um, but so like at that time, like we didn't have anything in Dallas that we can call like ours, like a community
Yeah.
hub, like DFC was, because like DFC was definitely that a start for so many people, and I
Mhm.
think we were missing that at the time.
Mhm.
And yeah, I feel like we just sought to like kind of feel that like we saw when she asked us about it, like we were scared. We were like, nah, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Like we were in disbelief that she was even asking us that question because like it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't in any of our radars. Like for me, like own it, like being a part of a dance studio was probably like a dream, like
Mhm.
for a lot of people. And like I didn't think it would come like in the way it did. But I think whenever she asked, like I feel like at the time we were like kind of starving for like kind of that sense of community again.
Yeah.
So I think we said we'll think about it. Like we
Mhm.
didn't say yes right away, but we continued to just talk about it and just kind of weigh in like the decision.
Mhm.
Um, I think like after a few weeks or maybe like a month passed by, and then I think like Catherine was just like, "Hey, she needs a decision. Like, is this
Mhm.
something to go for?" And like, I think we just talked about it, and we talked about the pros and cons of the situation, and we ended up saying yes and like taking the challenge to do it. And then I think finding the location was probably the hardest part because
Mhm.
yeah, like I feel like we just needed to like look in certain areas, like just try to see what could work out. And we stumbled upon a location in Oak Cliff, which is actually Catherine's hometown. Like
Mhm.
and they were raised around that area too. And I think like one of the things about like that location that we loved was I think it was a single room, and like it was like a large space. Like we kind of saw it, and like because it was a storage unit before we
Mhm.
kind of renovated it, and like we just needed to um just try to see like if this would be like even work out. Um so I think we all yeah, we just wanted to like also fill the need for like a studio in the South, because
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of the studios are up north.
Mhm.
And yeah, like I feel like there's just a community here. Because like I asked permission to Catherine before I talked about her for this, but
Sure.
yeah, when she was growing up, I think a lot of there was no studios for her growing up at like when she went to middle school, and like there was just nothing in that area. And she would have to drive up north, the DFC, take the dart, like all this sort of things to try to like fill this need. And I think it was one of those things that it was like, I mean, dance is a great thing, but even just the access to dance wasn't like equal for everyone.
Yeah.
And so like I think that just raised our resolve to try to open in this location, Oak Cliff. Um, and I think we really wanted to like just yeah, just be that need in that area. Because like we think we believe that we could be a possible or a
Mhm.
positive like resource in that area. for people
Mhm.
that um and so yeah, we got started. We did a lot of planning for kind of how the the studio would look. We just had to take out everything because there was a bunch of stuff. It was just like dusty and like
Yeah.
it was filled with like just stuff that's been sitting for years, we feel. And so we just had to take out all these like furniture stuff that they had there.
Mhm.
And yeah, we had to redo the floors and try to level them so they can so when we put the vinyl flooring that
Yeah.
it would equal like dancers don't trip.
Yeah. Good point.
Uh yeah. And then yeah, we did the walls. I think one of the hardest things about opening a studio was actually like the contractor that we worked with
Mhm.
because it was like one of the hardest things about opening, I think, a physical location is getting everything through the city. So,
Right.
from, like, sending, like, the layout of how we would make this space to be and, like, the parking, like, parking layout, like, we just had to send everything to the city, like, we had to build the studio before we actually built the studio.
Right. Yeah.
And we had to send them to get it approved. And I
Mhm.
think one of the hardest things is like just working with the like the contractor that worked there, because they kind of made it difficult because like we got the location in March, and from March to November, or like March to October, I would say mid-October, we were just working to try to get the contractor to just like pass us and just like
Gotcha.
yeah. And
Jeez, took half a year for that.
yeah,
Wait, I guess it makes sense. I shouldn't be as surprised. I mean, these kind of things, I guess they take time, but I wouldn't imagine.
yeah,
It is frustrating trying to open something and you're like, can you stamp it? Just
yeah, dude,
sign off, give me the approved. Let's go
yeah,
buy the materials. Let's get this shit
mhm,
started.
yeah.
Uh,
Because we couldn't do anything to the walls at all either
mhm.
without getting approved.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was a piece of work for
Wow.
sure.
Okay. So
Yeah,
then in terms of like the design of the like, I was going through the videos that you've been posting and everything, and you
mm,
guys have like, lighting in there and you have your logo on
mm,
the back wall and and all these things and like all that
yeah,
design, was that a more collaborative effort between you and
yeah,
Catherine, or does she already have kind of a vision? You were like, works for me, and then just kind of
yeah.
go with it.
I think we were working really closely with the mom, and we actually hired a person to help us build the logo.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And then I think yeah, like I feel like um Catherine actually she was working at Share Tea at the time, and she drew that logo on like the desk area with a dry erase marker, and she was just sketching out certain, we just needed a person
Mm-hmm.
to look like an R.
Yeah.
So that was the goal, and like we were just trying to like just try to draw it out. Because I think originally the mom came up with the name Rhythm,
Right.
and because we were thinking some, man, I didn't even know what the name of studio honestly, and I was just like, we're not finna do no like just whack,
Mm-hmm.
whack. And then her mom came up with Rhythm, and it was like it was simple and straightforward, and I
Yep.
feel like it worked really well. So we kudos to Mrs. Floor.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually her birthday yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing! Happy belated birthday to her.
And then yes, like Catherine, I would say yeah, those two women like they definitely took the reins in like designing. Like I would just say yeah, I would honestly just say yes because like
Mm-hmm.
none of their ideas I think weren't like too out of there.
Yep.
And yeah, like I think a lot of the boys in her family and my family, we painted the like we had to repaint all the walls white
Mm-hmm.
and just like try to get a clear coating. painting a wall is so crazy, low key.
Bro, it
Like,
is insane. I did the one at my house with like a hand roller, and not
yeah,
even like the big poles, just like the
yeah,
hand one.
yeah.
I was like, bro, I need a break.
Bro, it's so crazy, like how many coats it is to get a blemish
So
off.
many fucking coats. Oh my
It's
god. And they're
crazy.
it's crazy because when we bought the paint for the house,
Yeah.
the lady at Lowe's was like, "Yeah, with this level, you should only really need one if you're trying to cover like, that really because the room was a really ugly green, like a dark green, and we
Oh
were going from
no.
green to
Yeah.
like it was like a cream color.
Oh
So you
my
can
God.
imagine, like, she's like, you should only need one coat over. I did the same thing at my house.
Yeah.
We did one coat and let it dry, and you could see
Uh,
the green splotches just
mhm.
coming out of the ball. And I was like, needs another coat. There we go. Next 2 days later, another coat.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my
So
gosh. Yeah. It's a like it seems simple because it's like, oh, one color. Yeah. But
yeah,
to get like that coat, like especially building a home too, like y'all gonna have to see that every day and like to make sure that it's like 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 even like equal to each other so there's
mm-hmm,
like it's uniform like yeah it's like simple things but we were man I think we did like 6 8 bro we would go there do the same thing every day and just like thankfully we didn't need to do the ceiling like
yeah,
that was just like there but like yeah doing doing the corners of the wall
mm-hmm,
doing all around yeah, it took a while. But we're really thankful for them because it was like a really both family effort.
yeah,
Me and Jason, I would say Jason, like we hired my little brother
mm-hmm,
to do the one on the wall because we
yeah,
didn't know how to approach that. To be honest, because it was like it was kind of like it was just like we know like the mom had the vision of it being kind of large
mm-hmm,
in the middle of the floor middle of the studio. And then I think we used a projector
yeah,
and we just like put it on the wall and then me and my brother was just tracing it with pencil so we can just paint on it after.
mm-hmm.
Bro, making a circle is insane too.
The hardest part about just opening a studio is not even
Yeah.
opening a studio, it is drawing the circle on the wall that
Dog.
you need to get it just right.
Man, like it was so like we were just like looking back because I feel like at one point I felt like I was it was because it's large, so I felt
Mm-hmm.
like I was just drawing a straight line and I had to step back. I was like, is that even rounding anymore? It just
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like it just felt like I was like going in like an y equals mx plus b, bro. I was
Right.
just like,
Like,
man,
geez, what amount of exponential and logarithmic equations does it take to get this to be a perfect circle? I need that.
yeah,
That's so
oh
funny. Oh man,
man,
I love that. I not it's cool that you guys were getting your family involved as well. It was a big
yeah,
like family endeavor.
yeah.
And I missed asking you this before, but I've always been curious. You dance.
Mhm.
Julia is also an amazing dancer.
Yes, yeah.
Was there ever a time when all your other siblings were also dancers, or are they just not dancers, or as
Yeah.
deep as you guys are?
Yeah. Like my older brother, Josh, he's in Tennessee right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like yeah, he's the oldest of us four, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm the second,
Okay.
just to give that. But he was man, it's freaking funny because I would talk about him in my lessons sometimes because he was like the original dancer, I think, out of all of us. He doesn't dance
Mm-hmm.
now, but when we came in, I right like we assumed the identity of like Asian American and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For Josh, like he loved jerking. Like you remember the stop
I
jerking?
fucking love. I was
Yo,
so bad at it. I was so bad at it, but it was so addictive to do. I
yeah,
still remember seventh grade was jerking year. Like that was the year.
oh my gosh,
Oh, that's
yeah,
so
dude.
funny.
Yeah, and like my brother would go, I'm not sure you know where Firewheel and Garland is.
Hmm. Yes, I've
But
driven on it to when I
mhm.
used to like. when Canvas used to live in that area,
Oh
I would
yes,
go
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I would go pick him up and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But my brother would actually show, there's like a, I don't know how, maybe it was on Facebook, but they would meet up in like the middle square and there would be jerking crew battles. And so my older brother was there and he would like actually be there. And it's like the drip is there, the
Yep.
snap, like the foxtail. And then I would watch my brother do this and I'm just like, damn, he's about the session with like thinking about it now, he's just about the session with the boys and just
Yep.
battle.
That's so
But
cool.
yeah, like he would post videos of like him jerking and like it was honestly like I feel like that informed a lot of my style because like it
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of like kind of swag and like grooving and jigging. Like
Mm-hmm.
I remember like in high school, my brother was the one who taught me how to Dougie. Because he learned it from like because he went to Lakeview, which was a predominantly black school.
Yep.
And that's where he learned how to Dougie, and they would teach teach him how to do all that. And then
I
he
wish
passed
people
that
taught me
on
how
to
to do this
us.
shit, bro. I didn't know what a
Yeah.
jig was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a South Dallas swag. I didn't know what any of
Oh
that
my God.
was
Yeah.
because I was in Paris, Texas. Like nobody does
Yeah,
anything there, right?
yeah.
Like you know
Yeah.
who Devin Childs is?
Devin Charles. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he used to go to Paris High School. So
Oh
I
wow.
this was a really weird moment. But like I remember in high school, maybe my junior senior year, since he was an
Uh-huh.
alum, and I think he was doing stuff in Dallas at that point.
Mhm.
He came back to Paris to like talk at some assembly or whatever we had and kind of show like his dance and stuff like that. So I was like, oh shit, this guy can actually dance the way that I've seen people on TV dance.
Mhm.
Never talked to him after that. Fast
Mhm.
forward how many ever years when I actually did end up coming to UTD for school and
Yeah.
everything. I think I like ran into him somewhere and I was like,
Yeah.
you're the guy.
That's crazy.
um, Cause like yeah, nobody did shit, nobody did shit. So I felt like a fool anytime I tried to like Dougie or we were jerking or
Yeah.
we were doing any of the stuff that was fun. We were
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but we were wobbling. We were doing all that stuff.
Yes.
Um, but
Bring that back.
nobody really did it like that. So I always
Yeah.
felt like so
Yeah.
closeted. Like I
Yeah.
was more or less a closeted dancer
Yeah.
uh until I hit college and I was like, oh cool, people actually do this shit.
Hmm.
Like it's a thing, you know?
Yeah. Dude. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. The wobble is
That's
crazy.
amazing. No, because so my buddy and I were both my buddy. Shout out my boy Blaine. He was actually he was actually a, like he would dance with me.
Hmm.
Up
Yeah.
until man bulked up and lost and got a little stiff, but
Oh.
he's like he still has some moves, and so
Yeah.
we were both in marching band, and so we were
Okay. Yeah.
a thing for us was always making the bleachers a fun time because you know
Mm.
like every
Yeah.
Friday night or whatever the games were, we'd have to go and sit in those cold ass bleachers and just
Yeah.
sit there until we had to play something. So
Hmm.
depending on which song we'd play, we would we would just do like random dance shit either while
Hmm.
we're playing or if a different instrument set is playing, we just like move around. And so
Hmm.
one of the things I forget what song it was, but it was like a it was a 4 bar song,
Uh-huh.
or at least for like 4 bars, or maybe for
Yeah.
maybe for 4 separate 8 counts. We would basically do a whole like wobble set, and so we were wobbling back, wobbling
Yeah.
forward, wobbling left, wobbling right, and then we go
Dude.
back into it.
Uh-huh.
And you know, kudos to him because he has the creativity to think about even doing that. I'm like, this is embarrassing
Yeah.
as fuck. But
Yeah.
my man's would be the one to would be the one to do that shit. But
Oh
I
my
realized like,
God.
man, if more people, and then we got more people to do it as we were
Yeah,
upperclassmen, and then like
yeah.
the freshmen who like looked up to us would like join in on it, which was
Mhm.
more fun. Um,
Dude, that's
but
awesome.
but
That was a
I love those moments.
yeah, because like that was the dance of an era. Like doing it now is crazy.
Doing it
But
now is cringe, but back
doing
then, that shit was tight. Doing it now, anytime it comes on at a party, and
yeah,
I'm there with like I'm there with my family or I'm there with like
yeah,
Yushi, and I'm like I'm not getting on the dance floor to cha-cha slide any time in my life. When we were
yeah.
planning our wedding and we were planning the dance floor, I'm like we're not having any instructional dances at
Yeah.
any of these events. No cha-cha
Oh.
slide, no wobble,
Mhm.
no um no Macarena, none of those things are happening
Yeah.
at my wedding.
Oh my
Back in the
god.
day, you know, you could tear it up, but
Yeah.
not right now, not
Not
anymore.
not right now.
Gee,
And
that's
but
so funny.
that was like a like that. I think the eras in dancing, like especially with connected to music, like it was just like so different back then. How like unit like how many things were just like uniform with like dance crazes became a thing, and like
Mhm,
everyone in the school would just start doing like a random dance that came out that week, like the
mhm.
nae, the
Oh
drop,
my god, yes, the
like
nene, the
yeah,
drop,
it was just
the
yeah, it was just these different like I think the influence of dance
mhm,
would like just like it would just like you know how to do it because of
mhm.
how much it was going on around you. Um, but yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if it was like super elitist of me, and I should not have ever had any sort of elitist thoughts about dance. But
Mhm.
whenever people do certain dance moves incorrectly, it just made me so mad because I was like, "There's a
Yeah.
correct way to do it." And in my head, I was like, "You should do it correctly because that's the way that they want intended
Yeah,
it
yeah,
done."
yeah.
I I never thought about it of this is just a way to creatively put a spin on it, even if you wanted to,
Yeah.
right? So people who would do the whoa, the nay, the drop, any of that stuff, and it looked really bad. I'm
Bruh.
like, "You're doing it so wrong. Please stop."
I know.
And
But
I just had to live through that. You can't tell anybody they
yeah,
suck at
yeah,
it. They know they can't dance. They suck at it. They're just
yeah,
wanting to do it because it's fun, right?
yeah.
And so you should not take away the joy of doing it from them.
Yeah.
But I was like, then just don't do it around me, bro. Like, go do it in that circle over there. Just don't do it in this one.
It's just
Um,
like some of them just like it's like disrespect with like because like
uh,
yeah, like I don't mind like the minor mess up, but like when you're not even like bouncing on beat, like if you're like I don't know,
mhm.
it's just like some random shit. I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I for me it was always like the nene, they would actually move their arm like
yeah,
across their body. I'm like, you keep that shit still.
yeah,
Like you don't move that shit. Why are you moving it like this? Like what is going on here? I'm like,
oh,
you're not waving a camera in my face. Like, what are you doing? It was dude, so many core memories just surfaced right now for us and other people.
yeah.
I really hope we just revisited so many core memories for other people right now.
I feel
I
like yeah, yeah,
I want to get back to the studio because you know it's been open for like what, a few months now. Um, is there any like good feedback or like any sort of like commentary you received on the studio that you were like, I'm glad they told me that because yes, and this is like this is a way that we can improve it.
yeah. It was actually there was one that happened yesterday, that really like solidified the decisions we made of a year ago. And there was a girl that came in to teach our heels class. Her name was Destiny. Amazing class, amazing teacher. But she like I think she was talking to her class and she was just checking in with them like how y'all doing, like introducing herself. And she was she one of the comments she said was like, "Isn't it nice that we didn't have to go on the highway to get here?" Like and like
Nice.
all some of the audi like some of her people were like, "Oh yeah, like I live down the street, like oh yeah, my parents were raised around here." And like I think like hearing that, like that was for real what we wanted it to be. Like
Mhm.
because when we first started, we had a lot of our friends come out. But one of the things we would hear too is like, damn, I had to drive an hour, like I had to drive
Yeah.
like that. But like this is what a lot of other people had to go through
Mhm.
years. And it's just like the access thing. And so yeah, when we heard that, it was just like, dude, this is what we do it for. Like,
Yep.
just for a sense of equality demographically in
Right.
Dallas for dance. Cause like I get it, like dance can't exist right outside your house all the time, but
Mhm.
like to make it easier for people, specifically in that area, like it's dope because it's just like now they can attain like what they want to do without
Mhm.
having to stress around driving George Bush or
Yep.
635 for a long
Yep.
time.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and I think that was one of the comments that hit home for sure because it was just like that was the service that we were trying to hit. And yeah, I feel like uh yeah, that comment stuck. I think I think there was Devion um from DFC too.
Mhm.
And one of the and he taught again May on I believe it was Tuesday, I think. Tuesday, yeah, Tuesday. But he said this feels really like he said the studio felt like home again.
Mhm.
It's like DFC was that. Like
Yeah.
kudos to Taj and I got to I talked to Taj in Battlegrounds too and yeah like I told him this but like yeah like that was such a big melting pot for a
Yep.
lot of my friends now and like even the like us trying to find the studio identity like we based like Catherine started at DFC like I started there too and like um we really based what we were building on like kind of the lessons we learned in that location
Mhm.
um and so yeah when Devion said this started to feel like home like a home studio also Devion would also said that he doesn't live that far from here anymore like far from that studio like he would have to drive like
Yep.
or at the time because he was like young like his mom had to drive him all the way out there
Mhm.
to DFC and now like the studio is like 15 minutes away and
Yeah.
it's just like one of those things that just like I think this is when like choosing a location reveals like its reasons I
Mhm.
guess um but yeah like I think that was one of the things because we don't want to like monopolize dance at all
Right.
like as a studio like I don't think I think businesses like they because they need students to thrive and I get that
Mhm.
but like students will don't need to only take from a single studio like I feel
Yeah.
um like it's just like everyone can win and everyone can
Mhm.
in this business I believe but it is difficult to find the balance between that but like yeah like I feel like we like starting off like we wanted to just do good work do like
Mhm.
honest work and not try to like step on any toes or whatever but we yeah we just wanted to like find our people find our village of people who just wanted to who who wanted to dance and stuff and we're fairly small right now.
Yeah.
We're hoping to build our faculty up. But just because funds like are going into other things, we want to be ready until we introduce like a legit faculty for the
Mhm.
studio. Because right now, we just taking a lot of rentals,
Mhm.
just so we can like um just kind of control pricing
Right.
wise. Uh, but yeah, like um yeah, when Devion was just talking about that and just like saying because like I've known that kid since he was like a teenager. He danced with
Mhm.
my little sister. Like and like he's honestly one of like probably one of the most hardworking dancers out there. And like just for him to like find a space there, like it's really dope because like I know he does great work with Team Athena. He
Mhm.
was their one of their assistant choreographers. And the kid's only like 22.
Don't don't
Yeah.
say that because now you made me feel old. Because I remember that kid
Dude.
when he was a teenager too, and I'm like, holy shit,
Dude.
he's 22. Don't age me like that, Jacob. Damn.
Sorry, bro.
Ah, yeah. No. Hey, that's one of the things, right? You get to look back on it and see kind of you get to appreciate other people's growth, and then
Yeah,
when they say these things about the work that you do, it's gratifying, right? You're like it's humbling, it's gratifying, it's very also motivating.
Yeah.
Like I do appreciate that you guys understand that, like, yeah, access is going to be an issue anywhere. So
Mhm.
like, where do we not want it to be an issue?
Mhm.
Where can it impact the kind of people that we want it to impact?
Yeah.
And then if other people need to drive and want to come, they're gonna come, right? Like you're gonna come to have a good time. That like driving has never really inhibited a dancer in the past, and it won't. Like if they want to come, they'll find a way to get there.
Yeah.
Um, so I like that. I like that. I love that for you. I love seeing I love seeing the growth,
Mhm.
um, and the potential for growth here. Uh, Also, given that you acknowledge that there is space for everybody,
Mhm.
I do love that you said that because previously, there were very limited options. So it was always like either we're going here or we're not really can't
Yeah.
really do anything right now. But
Yeah.
like you've just given people another option to
Mhm.
consider that, um, and that helps out everybody, right? Like 1 week it can be at Rhythm, 1 week it can be at HQ, 1 week it can be at a different place again. But like as long as everybody's still together and then you're part of the conversation,
Yeah.
you know, like you said, everybody wins, everybody can win, everybody can share.
Mhm.
Um, you don't need the whole pie. You just really want a piece of the pie, really. Um,
I
so
wouldn't uh,
go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, I wouldn't even want the whole pot. That's
Yeah,
way too much.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot.
like,
It's a lot.
yeah, I'd rather handle, like, a section and just do that great.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, I I'll just touch on this just 'cause, it kinda came to mind, but, like, I remember when we were starting out, and we like, even now, we don't really have that many students in our own curriculum, but, like, we were already so tired from just being at the studio and, like,
Mm-hmm.
planning stuff and then going back home, and just, like, I was just like, "Damn, like, if we did have hella people coming in every day, we would be so much more tired," and I feel like it's good that we get to work up, like,
Mm-hmm.
our our bandwidth to handle,
Mm-hmm.
like, social interactions with parents and students, and, like, we get to, like, train up into that, because like, yeah, if like, I think that's one of the lessons that came in, like, is, like, if you received all your blessings now, would you be able to, like, handle it all? Like, wouldn't you wanna kinda receive these things in, like, I don't know, just to even appreciate the single blessing that you do receive, like, it came with some at a certain cost, like, yeah, because I wouldn't want like, if you won the lottery right now, right? Like, you get all that money, but then, like, you're probably gonna spend most of it within the first 3 months, and then maybe
Mm-hmm.
6 months later, you're just like, "Oh, damn, now I need to save."
Yeah. Guy like
Yeah,
me though, you
I
know,
give me that.
I I can work my way around a lottery fund, okay?
Yes.
Like, yeah, I'll put that shit to use. It will set up my
Okay.
progeny. It will set
No.
up my dynasty. Uh, but no, no, no. See, I think I think that's a very mature look on it that not a lot of people of our age consider. It's
Yeah,
when you get older and you look back, you have that kind of thought, right? Of I'm glad that the growth was slow because I was able to grow into the shoes needed for the next level.
mhm,
Versus if I skip 5 levels and I'm not ready for level 5,
yeah,
there's a really high chance for me to falter, it to crash back down to level 1, right? But you like having the opportunity for a slower pace of growth, but a more rewarding pace of growth,
mhm,
and really, that pace helps you set a foundation as well.
yeah,
It really does help you, um hopefully like
yeah,
secure yourself, your peers, and the space and
yeah,
what you're trying to do, for a longer period of time. I can't imagine if you guys open up and in the first 3 months you're in flux with hundreds of, um either students or calls or inquiries or whatever it is, and you're like, I didn't play for any of this. I don't know how to talk to you right now. I don't know what I'm
Mhm.
saying. I haven't even have the next month planned out. Like, what do you do with that, you know? But
Mhm.
a trickle of it
Yeah.
slowly, and you get to, and like you said, you get to breathe, you get to like work with it, you get to
Mhm.
develop your skills,
Mhm.
um, and then you're gonna be equipped to handle bigger and better things, um, as you're working on this stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause it really did feel like, yeah, like, I feel like me and Catherine are very young, and we're, we're very young business people, 'cause, like, where some people kind of went to university, to kind of learn about these things. I think we're learning as we're going, and, yeah, we're just we definitely wanna just, like, serve, I think I was watching, a podcast with Sean Evaristo and, Scott Forsyth,
Mm,
and they're, yeah, like, both of them own their studios, Movement Lifestyle and, Studio North, and one of the things that, like, Sean was talking about was about building with each of your clientele, 'cause, yeah, like, 'cause those people, like, could, like, just, like, be, like, your friends for life and stuff.
mhm,
If like and just like I think each person comes in there looking for something through y'all. Like if it's like people want to work out,
yep,
people want to just get better and dance. Some people just want to like meet up with meet like even just meet friends.
mhm,
Um, but everyone wants something different when they approach you, and I think it's just about like kind of gauging their need and hoping you can help, hoping that you can they just take away something that can help them in their life. Like if
mhm,
even in like work or school or personal stuff, like I think you just need to try to find out what they're looking for and try to see the need you can fulfill
mhm,
at your capacity. Cause like it really is like kind of like yeah, it's just like just having a friend and like if they ask you for something, like will you be able to provide for it?
right,
And I think with the like kind of like the lower volume that we have right now, we can kind of focus our attention on what they need.
mhm,
And so we're constantly kind of switching stuff up, like and like even at like a lot of the community, because we're located at a kind of like community center. There's like a gym in front of us, Planet
yeah,
Fitness. There's a Family Mart down at the corner. And like I feel like a lot of them would come by the studio sometimes just to ask us about
mhm,
classes. And we would be in these conversations of like, oh, like what were you looking for in
mhm,
dance in general? And a lot of them would just be like, oh, we were hoping to do a Zumba class.
yep,
We added a Zumba class. We did a merengue salsa class. And okay, noted. We're gonna add like those classes because
mhm,
we're really trying to listen to the community that's around.
mhm,
Um, yeah, I feel like we've just been through the couple of months. We've just been like designing stuff so the community can like touch back with us and just be like, oh, what you said is now here.
mhm,
Because like we really do try to listen to a lot of the people. Like if they give us any criticism or
yep,
any like critiques, like we definitely just try to listen and just try to adapt to
mhm,
better become um like like something for them to like just like that they're heard and that we're
mhm,
adapting to what their needs are. Yeah,
amazing,
because like yeah, like, even, like, the mom one of the moms, oh my gosh, there was this one time, she was asking for a Zumba class, and we're like, "Yeah, we can do that," and she's like, "Do y'all have a one for 6 AM, like, in the morning?" And we were like, "Oh, 6 AM is pretty
crazy
early."
early.
Yeah.
that's adult corporate level early. Like
Yeah,
all these people going to their 9 to 5 jobs. Like
yeah,
I need to wake up at this time and get some activity in. Otherwise, I can't do
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't think we have a class, but like we try to adapt. Like we listen and then we try to
Mhm.
see what we can do. And I think right now we're trying to put some of those things into play.
Mhm.
But it is taking a minute because we're trying to find our instructors because none of us are certified in teaching those other styles.
Mhm.
Um and so yeah, I feel like really just listening to community and seeing what
Mhm.
they um and like also like building with the community that's already there,
Right.
like with battlegrounds, Soul Society,
Mhm.
Ode to Dallas, Flow Roots with the guys. I was really excited about that because I saw them at a session. I went to one of the Momentum Mondays,
Mhm.
and uh, Zenit approached me and asked me about it in like November, and then I think they were just planning some stuff out, the graphics and like kind of the lesson plan.
Yep.
And dude, I feel like the past 3 Mondays now, like we had like Shadows, Zenit, Wonder, and then this next Monday is Rishi. And honestly, it was like the best way to open up the studio
Sure.
for the new year because like I was so grateful because like I've known most of those guys for like 10 plus years now.
Mhm.
And I've watched them do their thing, work for their like craft. And um it's crazy because like Shadows, I think at one point, like he said it's been like 15, like 20 plus years since he taught a lesson um in popping. And I was like, dude, like you
That's
should
a
be doing this all the time.
Mhm.
And it yeah, it was just like it was crazy because like I feel like these guys like everyone knows they're great, but
Mhm.
like for them to like really bestow the lessons a lesson plan for people to follow, um it was like it was super dope to see it in like really combining the choreographic process of learning a class and then also the freestyle culture of like
Mhm.
this is like what we're doing because like um yeah, one of the things that they would do is just for like they'll give us like 4 minutes to just dance just
Yep.
and I think Shadows was a popping one, so he just wanted all of us to pop
Mhm.
like as much as you want, like just go for it. And then he just watched us and he gauged from there like what to do after
Yeah.
and what we think we needed. And it was like I think seeing that process play out, like it was really it's really dope to just see like them in an instructional like
Mhm.
seat because yeah like those lessons are usually just learned in ciphers or in conversations or just watching film, and
Yep.
to receive it in a format through the studio, like we were really grateful they asked us to be a part of that project. And yeah, we're ending with Rishi this
Mhm.
next Monday, and
Nice.
yeah, we're really excited to have him there to teach. And like yeah, it's honestly like just like like seeing that play out because like one of the things was like bringing the styles into the studio because we just don't want to just be doing choreography and
Mhm.
stuff like that. We want to like have that be a space for sessions
Yep.
and like the freestyle community come in and do work. Like even like Cam's jam, like Cam, bro,
How did that go, by the way?
dude, it was amazing. Like honestly,
Nice.
um,
Love to hear it.
dude, like Cam was like, bro, like me and him got really close during the pandemic for real. And like I think like he was honestly the person that introduced me to Catherine. Like where we would just hang out. Like he would like yeah. And it was just like one of those things that it was just he played like so like a pivotal role like through our friendship through EFB, and he was just like um really one of those like positive influences
Mhm.
at a time where like everyone was just trying to figure shit out.
Mhm.
And that was like the first time we really became close. Because we would see each other at DFC, but I think at that time, like we started hanging out. And like yeah, fast forward to like the beginning of the studio, he approached us with the idea of hoping to throw a jam.
Mhm.
And I think at the time we were just so focused on all the logistics of things going on that we didn't really have plans for the end of the year
Yep.
other than, and then he asked if it was like a feasible idea to like make this happen. And like we whenever he told us, we were super excited. And we were just like we don't know, like we didn't even know how many people could fit at the studio at this.
Mhm. It's a good
Um
stress test.
yeah, yeah. And like I think the only thing close to it was Jessie. She came down to Dallas.
Mhm.
And she taught her class. And that was the most people we had at that point. It was like 35 people in a class. We were like, damn, that's
Shit.
crazy. Yeah. She honestly has so many people behind her, which is dope. She deserves it. But at that point, like we didn't even know what to tell Cam about capacity limit.
Mhm.
Because we were just like, I mean, we fit 35 people like within dancing distance of them
Mhm.
like being able for instruction, but for a jam, like people could be like an open floor segmented, and we didn't know
Yeah.
what that may look like. So yeah, I think Cam honestly like really just like I feel like he already had this in his head, this idea, and he already knew the people to go to. Like
Mhm.
um even from the last podcast, like when he was saying that it was like easy to like all his people knew, like it was for real like the easiest jam thrown because like we were already set up with the location, like he already had his people chosen, and I think most of them were already on board.
Mhm.
And when we came there, so just to give like insight, like we wanted to meet before to just set everything up. Like we had maybe one phone call meeting to talk
Mhm.
about stuff, but when we went there, we were just like, all right, we have an idea of what this may look like, but um, yeah, let's just try to execute it in that hour beforehand. And it was crazy, like seeing like yeah, canvas setting up, and we were just setting up tables, setting up some chairs, setting up the projector, setting up the table for Amy and Courtney,
Mhm.
um, the mics for Barney, the
Mhm.
chair for MJG, and just like making sure like me and Catherine were just like we were really just like helping out, but for
Yep.
running the event, that team did amazing. Like all of them were veterans in their own craft. Like and like we didn't know how it would do as a gym, but like that
Mhm.
was I think that was the most people that's been in the studio, I think, up to this point. And it was dope because it was like a lot of the people that we all grew up with
Yep.
that were that went up there. And like it was just like it felt like an old reunion because there was so many people that like some people that don't even dance, like I saw Jazz there, Jesse was up
Mhm.
there. Um, who else is there? Man, it was just like these people that I remember like growing up with, and
Mhm.
they were just all up there. And like yeah, like I think Cam has this sort of like this energy that it's just like a big bro energy, and he was able to do that with so many people, and a lot of those people were able to like show up and just be a part. But yeah,
Mhm.
that was like honestly like really cool to just see that it was possible to like even throw a jam. And then what's it called? Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely like a good jam, like and then what was I trying to say? Yeah, it's just crazy seeing it was just crazy honestly seeing people in the space because
Yeah.
most of the time it's just me and Catherine and we're just like, oh no signups today, but
Mm-hmm.
let's pack up, go
Yeah.
home. Like it, and there were a lot of days like that. I think like and it like it's still like other than the people that are supporting us, like us getting like our own people there, sometimes it's hard. Like
Mm-hmm.
people won't show up one day and like we just use that time to create and then
Mm-hmm.
work on other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, like I think I'm really grateful for the community because they like I may not have people sometimes like that would come out for me and like trust like I feel like that's just like some people will come in time and stuff, but like for other people like I feel like some of the people some of the people will like come like if there's an event or like there's another class and like trust like I'm learning how to not let it hurt my feelings because like
Mm-hmm.
this like even when I would go I wouldn't even go to class like
Yeah.
as whenever I was like I would go the same way other people may go now
Mm-hmm.
through like UMF or to the battlegrounds like
Yep.
it's I know how it is to be on that side so
Yep.
I try to like not be too sensitive
Fair.
with stuff but yeah like yeah that jam was definitely like a great like way to end the year off especially because there was just like we have like right now like we have some students and like um it's like they would come like that but like sometimes I wish there was just more people they can connect with like other kids it's
Right.
just hard to get into schools and to get parents to come out
Fair.
sometimes
Fair.
but yeah like actually one of our students got to go to the jam. Dude, oh my gosh. One of the best things I've ever seen, like one of the proudest moments, like one of our students, her name is Allison, and she's only 8, and she was watching the jam with her mom. And at one point she's watching and she's like, oh, I was like, no way this kid just did that. Like, cause no one taught her that. That is not in the curriculum.
Let's go.
Oh, we saw that shit and I had to back because I was going through footage from the studio and I was like, no way she did that. Like, and she learned that I
Oh,
think just watching people around her.
fair.
But she did
Fair.
this and like I was like, how do you know that shit? Like I think that little dance culture, like dance like thing
Mm-hmm.
is just like you really find that in the dance thing and like that was like one of our like we were so hyped when when she was doing that, and I feel like that jam was that like world where she can just watch and learn,
Yeah.
and
It's
just
so
be a
it's so
yeah.
funny you say that. So when I was growing up, there were these like India's a big like dancing country as well with like Bollywood like movies and stuff, but in its own like they were trying to foster like more like dancers in general. So they had these dance shows like similar to ABDC but like more solo, maybe like in some teams or maybe duos or whatever it is. So and it goes by any which name.
Yeah.
But I remember there was at some point because like judges would cycle off and cycle through and things like that, and they'd try to bring in more like different choreographers in the Bollywood scene or like the Indian cinema scene to like help choreograph these both adult and like they had their own kids shows as well.
Yeah.
um and so one of them, his name is Mudassar. Okay, so he is a person who does I think a lot more like hip hop style
Mhm.
choreography. And so part of his whole like judge character or whatever was whenever he would see somebody do something dope on the stage, he would go
Mhm.
like this, like
Mm.
that, right? And that is something that we have experienced, in the culture of people doing that. And so him doing that, I was like, okay, cool, maybe he knows a little bit what he's talking about. But
Mm.
that's only because I've seen it. I was around people who would do that, and so I get what he's doing.
Yeah.
But when my parents would see that, my mom would be like, "What's that silly thing he's doing?" And I'm like, "Well, that's just what you do. You know,
Yeah.
that's just what you do. It's the same way as same way as doing this. Or for me, when I started being in ciphers, I didn't want to yell at somebody when they were doing dope stuff because I didn't want to interrupt. So I just started
Yeah.
giving snaps. Like snaps were just
Yeah.
my way of contributing.
Yeah.
But I love that because um as long as she knows what she's doing and why she's doing it, I mean it's just that's somebody getting a like 1 to 3%, maybe
Mhm.
20% more into the culture, uh,
Yeah.
and kind of trying to be a part of it.
Mhm. Yeah, it
Um,
was hilarious, man. We were like, "How did she even pick that up?" Like, that's that's a it's such a small thing, but it, like, I don't know, it was just, like, mattered so much because I was just like, "Bro, ain't nobody teach her that." Like,
exactly,
she really just
exactly.
copied or something, bro.
It's
Yeah.
funny. I have a little bit of a deep cut question for you, and I'm going to tell you right now. I have no context on this. This is one of Canvas's,
Okay.
but it's on his list, and I was like, you know what? If this is such a deep cut, I'm gonna ask Jacob.
Yeah.
So this is what he typed out. Okay. Lore has it that you witnessed and consoled a crucial and pivotal moment with close friend Alan on a DART train headed back to Garland. What if anything did you take away from that moment? And he's like, y'all got this one.
Oh, bro, I'm about to cry, bro. That's so great. I know, bro, when you said train ride, I already knew what you were
Oh God.
okay, the to take it back. Oh my gosh. It was like, bro, it was legit. I think it was one of my first popping jams. It was, man, I forgot what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember, it was like 20, because me and Alan, this is just purely for you, but me and Alan met like I went to it was this thing called Mustang Roundup. I was an eighth grader. It
Mm-hmm.
was like eighth grade summer, and we got to visit the high school to look at the clubs around the area.
Mm-hmm.
And like I go like at that time, like I'm ABDC, Bangs, Faux Hawk.
Yep.
That was the thing. And I go up to this one table and it's just a bunch of Asian dudes and Mexican guys. And then they're just like they have like hip hop music playing and I'm like, "Oh, was this like I was like, "Oh, are y'all dancers?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're the hip hop dance team in Saxy." I think, and then it was just like they set up their table to try to get
Mm-hmm.
members, and I was like, "Oh, dope, yeah!" Like I'd be dancing and stuff, and Alan's there. He's like in the circle already. He's already bone breaking. And like,
You walk 5 minutes into a building and you're still trying to like get your bearings, and Mance is just already in a cipher,
dude,
just
yeah,
ankles on the ground, shoulder one way.
yeah,
It's
and
so
like
funny.
they were just like there were like a lot of breakers in that squad. I think Alan was the only popper. Like really, it was like mostly breakers, and then Alan doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they were all friends with Nick Trung too. Shout out to Nick
Yep.
Trung.
Shout
That's
out Nick
like
Trunk.
I gotta include him in those three like people that really inspired me because man, that's man, Nick Trung was like one of those people that really helped me
Mm-hmm.
define who I was,
I,
especially in UTB. Like,
I still let him know like we're tight, we're close.
yeah,
He was one of the directors of FSA when I was there back in the day, and
yeah.
I will still
Watch
bring it
y'all all
up.
the time, bro. I watch y'all set all the time. That maroon is song Mahal. I watch that shit.
Bro, I only joined because Adrian was as cool as like to me,
Oh,
Adrian was a cool motherfucker.
yeah, yeah,
I think I told him this like a year later. I was like, really, the only reason I joined because I thought you were really cool. I just want to dance with you specifically. That's
yeah. Oh,
it. That's
wow.
really it. And then everything else happened after that. But since Nick was one of the choreographers, I
Yeah.
will always let him know
Mm-hmm.
that not making his piece
Mm-hmm.
for like one of the sets
Yeah.
was heartbreaking in that moment. But
bro.
his shit was so hard for me, bro. It was so fucking technical. Like
Nick is a
Adrian was
call.
groovy, Katie and Sarah's was like maybe a little bit more feelsy and things like that. But like his shit was so technical, and I was not a good dancer back then. I still, it took me years to feel like it took me after a process to feel like a good dancer.
Yeah.
So this is like freshman into sophomore year or so of dancing, and I felt like ass. And so
Yeah.
like I'll tell him like, I still remember not making that pee. He's like, bro, it didn't matter. I'm like, it mattered to me. It mattered to me back then, Nick Trung.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's core memories.
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah,
Core
cause
memories.
bro, honestly, like that UTD thing, like, cause my one of my first dance teachers too, like for choreography was Brian Frias,
Mm,
and he, he was one of the choreographers in 2011, I believe, in UTD FSA. So ever since I was in middle school, I've been watching UTD FSA through the years, and like, um, I feel like that was like I already had this thing because they represented UTD. They were
mm,
Dallas as heck, and like a lot of the Renegades also came from UTD, which was also an old team that like really inspired me,
mm.
and I joined. But like, dude, yeah, like up to that point, like Nick Trung, like, cause I knew I wanted to be a part of UTD. I would tell them like, "Yo, you," and like Alan ended up, bro. Seeing Alan do choreography,
That in itself is probably
dude.
like their greatest
Oh
achievement because like
yeah,
if Alan had never joined FSA that season, I would not be who I am today. If I
yeah,
had not seen Alan's reverse knee slide on the floors of second floor founders building, I would not be who I am today. If I did
yeah,
not hear Alan's who trying to get buck bullshit every 5 minutes as part of that training session, I would not be the man sitting here today in front of you. But to see that man do choreography was so funny.
it was dope, man. And it's crazy. I'll send you this link. Oh man, I wish I can find it. I'm gonna try to. But there's this piece he choreographed, like, oh yeah. I'm gonna touch back on the train ride because like all of this will build into it. But
Mm,
like, yeah, I was a freshman and like I befriended this whole team of just like this hip hop dance team that existed, and those guys like really ended up being my main friends. Because like we were just trying to do dance stuff. We would just
mm,
session, see each other in dance class. Bro, me and Alan would meet up like in the morning, like of school before
mm.
classes even started, and we'd go to the dance room and just like session like in the dance room or in like the hallway outside the dance room.
Yep.
And yeah, like moments like that, like cause he for real helped me define my style because like we were the only people like pursuing popping, like everyone was just breaking in the
Yep.
cypher. And so like I was really glad to just even like have like like another like an older bro like kind
Mm,
of like lead me through the treachery of high school. So we
yep.
just had dance to focus on.
Yep.
But yeah, on that, so like we go out to that event, right? And like I think at the time, like I've met up with some of them at UTD to do like sessions. Like Hampton was there, Gifted, Valkyrie, Wonder, um, Rishi, Zenit sometimes. I think you were there in some of them too, like at UTD.
Probably. Yeah.
And like it was just like we would just meet up there and just dance. And so there's a battle going on. And I think at that point, um, man, Alan is like really like training under Hampton
Mm-hmm.
for like a while. Like they'd meet up in session and maybe do private sessions with each other. And at this point, Alan, from his like very popping, cutting based style, like he's transforming, kind of merging what he's learning from Hampton, like maybe like groundwork or
Mm,
just like even characters. Like
mm-hmm.
he's kind of like just taking in what he's learning and shit. Bro, and then I think we're doing the battles. Like I don't think I competed, and I'm not sure if Alan was either. I think we were just ciphering. Um, but I didn't even see them go out, but I guess Alan and Hampton go outside, like the venue, and just to talk. And like, bro, oh my gosh, and they've been gone for a while, and like I come back outside to just like I'm just like because like I'm a kid, I'm still a kid there. I'm like 16 or 17, or
Yeah.
like yeah, it's like 16. So I'm still like, oh, I'm still surrounded by adults. So let me
Yep.
go find my friend. And I go outside, and then I see Hampton walk back into the venue. He doesn't like acknowledge me or whatever. But then Alan comes back and he's fucking bawling,
Oh
bro.
my
Like
god.
crying. Like he's like, bro, can we just go? And I was like, I didn't even, bro, at that point, like, I didn't even know how to process that shit. I was like, yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. And like, bro, I feel like the course of events that happened, like, I don't even know. Like, I remember we had to walk back to the dart station, and like, that train ride was just silent because I was not about to ask him. I think I didn't know how to handle that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he was just crying, bro. And
Mm-hmm.
I think like maybe when we got in the car, he told me about the situation, and basically Hampton was telling him like, bro, you're not original, you're stealing my style, like you're biting off that, like I don't want you as a student, like you're
Mm-hmm.
just like copying everything I'm doing. That like basically on that line, and I'm
Yep.
sure he said more, but like, dude, what happened after that point though was crazy because I think that's when Alan became Canvas.
Yeah.
Like, cause like, and honestly, like I forget, like, cause like I remember Alan. This was probably like a name, like we were just discussing names, and like,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just thinking about like art, like oh, you have like a very artistic movement. Like, what if it's Canvas? And that was like I honestly like it's so crazy that he still rides with that name till now because like I didn't know it was gonna be what it was.
What's
um
crazy is I call him Canvas more than I call him Alan. Because I know a lot of y'all who were like friends with him before
yeah,
Canvas, like y'all call like Nick calls him Alan. Like
yeah,
his friends call him Alan. I've known
mhm,
him as Canvas since the day
yeah,
I met him. So it
yeah.
feels weird to like I have to call him Alan to my parents because like my parents know him. He's come he was at my wedding. He was one of my he's one of the guys. But
Congrats
like
again. That's awesome.
and but like he like I have to I'll still refer to him as Canvas to my parents, and they at least know like
Yeah.
his name and everything as Canvas and Alan, so they know it's interchangeable.
Hmm.
Um, but innately, like his it's just Alan in my or sorry, it's just Canvas in my brain.
Dude, yeah. Because like I feel like that one, like it's so crazy because like it really just started with an idea. Bro, trying to come up with mine because I think the one that Alan gave me was Buck Dude because my last name is Bacud.
Oh,
And I was
that's
like, bro, I
funny.
don't think I can carry that shit. But man, like yeah, after that point, like I remember, so you know how me and Alan do like the morning session sometimes?
Yep.
He's like, hey bro, like I can't come in today. Like
Mm,
I'm just like, yeah. And then like it was kind of like a drought that
mm-hmm.
happened a little bit. Cause I think he just like all these, and I think Hampton was one of the people he looked up to so much
Yep.
too. And like I think for him it was one of those things that like um just became like I feel like he was really trying to find some resolve after because that's a grown man. Like honestly, bro, looking at it now as because I'm
In
20,
retrospect.
bro, as a 27-year-old fucking yelling at a kid that you're teaching, by the way. Bro, that shit is out of pocket, bro. That
You would like
motherfucker.
we would not be having those conversations right now because I, as a current 27-year-old, cannot imagine going to any 16-year-old and saying any of what was said
Dude,
in that conversation.
I was like, why are you so heated about this? Like, especially to him, like, and I think Alan had to like really find something. And it's crazy because I feel like I think he just needed a second to process stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the next session that we danced, like his music style changed, like the music he would dance to changed, like even the mood that he would dance is more solemn. I
Yeah.
and like kind of like the stuff that we see now, like Alan enters, like he cultivated that at that
Mm-hmm.
point. Like it was more than just moves
Mm-hmm.
for real at this time. Like I remember sitting in sessions and like, bro, like I think and that informed the way I approach dance. Like my freestyle wasn't the same after that point. Like
Mm-hmm.
watching him like approach his tuts, like even like it was just like the mood of just watching someone dance, and you can tell they're dialed in to
Yep.
something completely different.
Yep.
And I remember just being in those sessions and not really understanding the gravity of like this metamorphosis that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like it was just one of those things. And like when I talk about it with Alan, we be laughing about this shit because like it was like for real, like what the hell, bro? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
why would that happen?
That's so
Um,
funny.
I will say, just to like, man, circle it back, bro. I remember there was shout out to Black Star, Charlie Contreras.
Yes.
Uh, but he had a jam with Minority Brothers crew. And they had a jam, and Alan at one point Alan was put against Hampton.
Mm.
And then all of like Nick was there, Eric Luciano was there, and we were all behind Alan, knowing what happened and
Right.
transpired. And like I think some other people knew too,
Mm-hmm.
but like I'll send you this link to I'm not sure if you've seen the battle between them.
He might have shown it to me in the past, but I don't remember it. So feel free to send it. I'll refresh my memory and bring it back up to him next time
Yeah, yeah.
too.
Dude, but like, man, like seeing Alan go against like kind of the reason why he entered this like switch up,
Mm-hmm.
bro, he for real like killed him. He killed him.
Mm.
Like I feel like that shit was like a new gen versus like an old gen like thing. And like watching that shit and seeing him like talk his shit,
Mm-hmm.
fucking like just like okay, like yeah, okay, you taught me a little something, but let me teach you something that you didn't like teach me at all. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and like that round, like watching that as a kid and like just thinking about it now, it's like giving me like goosebumps because like, bro, like he for real, like we went through shit together, to like for moments like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel for Alan, like that was like, damn, I don't want to get that's crazy. But yeah, like seeing him get through that was um, dude, I can't even like that was like I didn't even need to watch anyone around the world for dance no more. That
Mm-hmm.
that's how I felt like it was just here in Dallas. Like
Yeah.
everything in my mind was just like, okay, what's going on in Dallas? Like I didn't care about no soundbox, no So Real.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is what I want to watch
Yeah.
and like serve. Um uh and like Canvas kind of instilled that in me.
Two people, because I don't go on social media much anymore. I really try not to. I only go on a two post, maybe talk to people, and then I try and get off.
Yeah,
So if the videos come across my feed, there are really only three people that I ever still consistently watch.
yeah.
That is a Canvas video, that is a Rishi video, and that is a major video.
Mm,
Like anybody else, I really like I don't like sit through it.
Yeah.
I might like watch it a little bit at the beginning and then kind of keep going.
Yeah.
But like I only and this was since I met them, honestly. It's not even like net just now. This was since I met them.
Yeah.
But and that's just how it is. That's just the brotherhood, you know. Those are just the guys, and really their movement speaks to me more than others, and so I only really watch theirs. And to your point, like I used to watch dance videos a lot in high school, college, etc. I used to try to I tried to learn breaking at one point, senior year of high school, by
Mhm.
watching Vinsanity on
Oh
YouTube.
my gosh, yeah.
Another core memory, and I remember like when my parents would go to bed, and I'd close the bedroom door, I'd be on my carpet floor trying to do like coffee grinders or like trying to hold myself up on my elbows and trying to like figure out like how do I do these like strength movements, and then make sure they're asleep. I like tiptoe to the kitchen, far away from their bedroom as possible. I'll try and do like a 6 step, and
Yeah.
I tried to do a windmill at like one time, and I
Yeah.
landed on my shoulder because I'm in a kitchen. I'm so scared about my long legs at that point, hitting a countertop, making noise. I'm frightened for my life at this point. I think I landed on my shoulder one time, felt it like ache a little bit. I was like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Breaking's just not for me. I know I got, and so I saw windmills, but I did achieve like 2 flares in a row at one time,
Yeah.
and then I
Hey,
left it. I left it. I was like, it's not for me.
bro,
It's
hey,
not for me.
honestly, that's the PR though. The PR
That's
move.
what I'm saying. Though.
PR.
That's
Hey, that's for eternity now. Like, yo,
100%. That like if nobody, it doesn't matter to anybody else. I did that
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Um,
bro.
but yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
And we can wrap it up with this. We can close it out with this. Is there one piece of advice that you would like to give to somebody listening today? It could be about anything. It's a vague, open-ended question on purpose. Is there one piece of advice that you would like to give to somebody today who's listening?
Um, I feel like just because I feel like I needed this advice, especially through like my later years of like my um like mid like even just like a place I was maybe 2 years or last year. Um that I feel like um I've let me see. Um I feel like especially after talking about stuff right now, I feel like you really gotta trust the process of how life kind of goes. Cause like I think for a while I didn't know where my place was. I was working job after job. Didn't didn't get to complete school like I really wanted to, but it was just really straining on me and my family of trying to support college. Um, so I think it's just like you will either figure it out or create something new for yourself. Because like I feel like for a while yeah, I just didn't know my place. Like in just like in my friend's life, like I think like we were just growing apart. I was kind of self-isolating. Um, and I just feel like whenever you're ready, because like a lot of times, like I know, like even if the opportunities were there to meet up with people, to talk to people, I kind of would shy away from it because of my own personal stuff that was going on. But I would just say, just like kind of be, I would say be kind to yourself because I feel like one of the things of just being an adult, especially like because right now I'm 27 and I was like the hardest on myself just because I wasn't where like I feel like my parents wanted me to be. Like I wasn't where I think even my siblings wanted to be. Like it was just like a place of kind of like it was just like random stuff. But yeah, I would. like I just say like just keep going because like yeah, I feel like there is something that's gonna make you worth living, even if it's like for me it was like NBA, like basketball, like I would just like love watching this shit again and just rediscovered my love for basketball. Like I feel like you're gonna keep discovering stuff about yourself, and it's up to you to try to like kind of map out the things you want and to really work towards those things for yourself because like things will take time, but I feel like it will be worth it. But yeah, yeah, just be kind to yourself. Because like no one needs to do that. Like I feel like a lot of people will be kind, but sometimes like your mind like will convince like, oh, this person feels bad for me, so they're just saying that to like that. And like that's the whole thing, like the whole world can be kind to you, but you can't even like accept that sometimes because you're just like, oh nah, this person probably thinks this or that of me or like this that. And it's just like you really gotta like um kind of believe or like don't believe the beliefs that you cemented as like walls to like keep yourself safe. Like because like that shit is just like it's like it's you can't get out of that. And I feel like yeah, just like continue like believing like in the best in people, and even if they say something nice about you, don't try to shy away from it, like just say thank you. Like I feel like that's like to really accept the words that people say because sometimes some of these people won't be here to say that. And um like recently I lost a brother from a team that I was in, and like he like he just wasn't able to make it, and it hurt my heart, and I got to see like a lot of those people that I was in a crew with like 10 years ago in the fraternity, and we all met at his funeral, and I saw Kevin there too, and like it was just like um dude, like you're like no one's alone. Like you like no matter how isolated you are, you really aren't alone. And I feel like you just need to like give other people a chance um to be with you. Cause I wish we could have done something to help him out. And like I think that's like one of the things, like to really truly be like kind to yourself, or at least just be understanding to yourself and how your mind works, and know that like some of these things that you believe or your beliefs are just things that were constructed off of experiences that you had no control over.
Mm-hmm.
And the ways you feel about yourself may be something that came from your parents or your friends, and it's not even yours, your ideologies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just hope people know that like people will be there to the capacity that they can, but like really the journey is with you and yourself, and to just take care of like your own mind and heart through it, because like I don't think anyone really owes us anything to like be there like all the time and shit, but like
Mm-hmm.
are there for yourself. So just be understanding and kind to yourself would be the message for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Jacob, thank you for, you know, coming on and chatting with me on the
yeah,
podcast. I appreciate you making time for this. Um,
yeah,
where can people find you if they want to keep up with what you're doing?
yeah. So my Instagram tag is on Instagram is just Jacob underscore Bacud. Um, the studio is I'm working a lot with Catherine there. It's just on Instagram as well. Rhythm Dance Studio DTX, and yeah, we're really excited with the way things are going, and we're hoping that a lot of people can just be a part of it too, for sure.
Lovely. Awesome. All right. Once again, thank you. Thank you so much,
Oh
Jacob, for coming on.
man, that was great.